Hello students. So today we are going to be analyzing the question paper of last year's board examination, that is the ICC 2020 examination. So what we are going to do is we are going to go through all the questions that were asked in that, and we are also going to go through the common errors that the students make in such questions, and what are the tips, what are certain suggestions from our end that you should keep in mind when it comes to questions from those particular chapters. So let us begin with the first question. Question 1A. It is a question of quadratic equation. You have to solve this equation x square minus 7x plus 3 is equal to 0. You have to give the answer correct to two decimal places. Now we know that this obviously has to be solved using the formula method. So in that, one of the most common errors that the students made was they used incorrect formula for finding roots of the quadratic equation. So we have to ensure that we learn and memorize the formula properly. Second, there was a plus minus mistake, that instead of -7, it was taken as +7. So you have to take care of those issues as well. And to calculate the square root of 37, which was the case in this case, many students, they tried using the division method. That is not what you're supposed to do. You will be provided with log tables. You have to use those log tables to calculate the root values, and then calculation errors. 7 minus 6.083 was written as 1.083. So these calculation errors were also done by a few students. So we have to guard against them as well. And then errors in rounding off, 0.4584. Code two decimal places, it was written as 0.45, whereas it has to be 0.46. So these are the certain issues that the students made, the certain corrections that you need to keep in mind when you will be solving sums from this chapter. So what efforts, what suggestions do we have for you all? First of all, familiarize yourself with mathematical tables and their use in finding square roots. So you should be thorough with how to calculate square roots using these mathematical tables. Then give sufficient practice to reduce the errors. So practice as much as you can. And then also you need to know the importance, or rather the method of rounding off to two decimal places, three decimal places, or significant figures, whatever is the case that has been asked in the question. So a very easy concept, very easy question, very scoring as well. But these are the few points that you need to guard against. Next question, again, an easy one. It was from matrices. Given A is equal to x3, y3. If A square is equal to 3i, where I is an identity matrix, you have to find the values of x and y. So it is very simple. So one of the most common errors that many students still make is, so to calculate the value of A square, that is the square of the matrix, they just squared each and every term of that matrix, which is wrong. What you need to do is you need to multiply A into A using the matrix multiplication method. Then some candidates also made mistakes in identifying 2 cross 2 identity matrix. It will be 1 0 0 1. So we should be knowing that, because if it is written as I, then the diagonal elements are 1, rest all the elements are 0. So these things, some candidates did incorrect calculation. X into x was written as 2x instead of x square. Very basic mistakes. So please keep in mind when you are solving sums from this chapter, you have to guard against these mistakes and not to make them. So how do you practice? Well, so first of all, you should know the entire multiplication of matrices concept. You need to practice the multiplication of matrices very thoroughly. And you also need to know what is a square matrix, what is an identity matrix, null matrix. You need to know what are the various kinds of matrix that could be asked in the examination, and then practice the multiplication and addition and subtraction of matrices accordingly. That was question number 1B. 1C is from construction, which has now been removed from the portion. So we'll not be discussing about that. We'll directly go to question number 2A. Question 2A is use factor theorem to factorize 6x cube plus 17x square plus 4x minus 12 completely. So in this, first of all, you have to find the first factor using factor theorem. All right. So you have to use the trial and error method. You have to try for x plus 1, x plus 2, and other various possible factors, and you have to see in which factor are you getting the remainder as 0. Then some made mistakes in finding out the quotient while dividing the given polynomial. So you need to thoroughly practice how to, use the long division or the synthetic division method to factorize a given equation completely once you have one factor ready with you. Okay. So all these things are something that you need to take care of. So first of all, you need to some suggestions from our end. You need to use factor theorem to find the first factor. The final answer should be expressed in the product form and not factors separated by commas. So you have to write it in the product form like this: x plus 2, 3x minus 2, and 2x minus 3. Then give adequate practice in division of polynomials by binomials. Whichever method that you follow, whether it is long division or synthetic division method, you have to give yourself adequate practice, and then you would be completely ready to, go and solve this question in the examination, because remainder and factor theorem is a very, very scoring chapter in your board examination. Coming to the next one, solve the following in equation and represent the solution set on the number line. So over here, the equation has been given to you. In this, many of the students, what they did was they made errors in transposing like terms on the same side. For example, यहाँ पे it is 3x plus 3x upon 5 plus 2 is lesser than x plus 4. All right. So what students did was 3x by 5 minus x इधर कर दिया and वो उधर कर दिया. आपको वो ध्यान से करना है. You have to keep in mind plus minus. If you're taking plus from this side, from one side to the other, it will become minus. आपको उसका ध्यान रखना है. And x plus, some students made various types of errors in simplification. X plus 4 is lesser than equal to x by 2 plus 5 was written as 2x plus 4. LCM properly lena hai aapko. And minus 2x is lesser than 10. Because you're dividing by a negative number, you have to, change the inequality sign. So you need to know all these things in mind before you actually solve the sums from this chapter. So these were a few mistakes in solving part. Then if we talk about the solution set, it was not represented in set builder form. Each and every solution set that you make has to be represented in the set builder form. And when you make a number line, in this case, it was a real number line. You need to know when there is an equal to sign, you need to use dark circles, and when there is no equal to sign, you need to use hollow circles. So all these rules are something that you need to know. So to certain tips from our end for this particular chapter. So you need to read the question carefully to avoid missing whether the value of your variable belongs to whole numbers, natural numbers, integers, or real numbers. You have to accordingly then, after solving, make your solution set. Then you have to give sufficient drill or sufficient practice to reduce basic mistakes of solving inequations, such as transposing sides and algebraic simplification, which include your LCM, plus and minus mistakes, and various other types of mistakes. Then train students to write the solution set. You need to know how to write the solution set in set builder form. When it is integers, natural numbers, or whole numbers, you write all the elements individually. And when it becomes to real numbers, you write it in set builder form x, such that then whatever condition there is that you've derived, and then x belongs to real numbers. So linear inequations, these are the points that you need to keep in mind. Then the next question is of a histogram. So draw a histogram for the given data, and then you have to estimate the mode from the graph. So over here, numerous errors were made by candidates. First of all, because this was not starting from zero, you had to show the crank mark. Then the guidelines to locate mode were not drawn correctly. The tallest tower, you draw X, and then you, from that meeting point, you draw a straight line onto the X axis. All those things were not properly shown. Class interval was represented below each bar as 3000 to 4000, 4000 to 5000. That is not how you're supposed to represent 3000, 4000, 5000 with no bar hyphen in between. And then you make your bars accordingly in that. A few candidates did not join the endpoints of highest bar with corresponding endpoints of preceding and succeeding bars to locate mode, which is the basic concept of locating a mode. So you need to know the concept to actually be able to solve this. The chosen scale was not used correctly. And many a times the students, they also forget to write the scale. And some calculated cumulative frequency, which is not to be calculated when it comes to histogram. That is something that you do for OJ. So a few tips from our end. First of all, you need to know how to, plot a graph. सबसे पहला चीज, whenever you're making a graph, whether it is reflection, ogive or histogram, you need to have that scale written at the top. If the scale is provided to you already, you have to use the very same scale. And if it is not, you have to take your scale accordingly. And then you have to specify that scale. You need to know how to draw a jive. You need to know how to draw a histogram, when to use frequency, when to use cumulative frequency. All these things you have to thoroughly practice. And then once you know how to draw a histogram, you need to also practice how to join the endpoints of the highest bar from the corresponding endpoints of the adjacent bars, and then calculate the mode. So uska bhi aapko sufficient practice karna padega. Then moving on to the next one. Question number 3A. This is a question from circle. So in the figure given below, O is the center. The diagram has been given to you, and AB is the diameter. AC and BD are equal, that is given, and angle AOC is equal to 72 degrees. You have to find three angles. So in this, one of the many mistakes that the students make is, many candidates were able to find angle ABC but could not find the other two angles. Properties of circles like angle in a semicircle, equal arc subtends equal angle at the circumference were not applied correctly. A few candidates could not use the properties of isosceles triangle and the congruency of triangles correctly. Some candidates made calculation mistakes. Appropriate reasons supporting the answers were also missing in many scripts. So first of all, for a very first thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to suggestions is, circles is a chapter of geometry. And whenever you solve any question in geometry, there has to be reasons specified in it. You have to write the reasons with that. Then you have to adequately practice all the properties of circles. You need to know all the theorems, and importance of giving reasons is very much high. You have to specify if you've used a particular property, if you've used a particular theorem, you have to specify that as your reason at the end of that step. Then you have to also ensure that you know all the theorems, all the properties correctly, and you also can recognize where to use which property. All right. So these were the points you need to keep in mind for the first question. Second is, prove that sine A upon 1 plus cot A minus cos A upon 1 plus tan A is equal to sine A minus cos A. So this is a question from trigonometry of LHS and RHS. Then in this, one of the biggest mistakes that students made were they were not able to express tan and cot in terms of sine and cos, which is the very first rule, that is to convert secondary ratios into primary ratios. Errors were also made in writing the numerator and denominator of resulting trigonometric expressions. Some took the LCM correctly but went wrong in simplifying the expression. A few candidates could not express sine square A minus cos square A as sin A plus cos A into sin A minus cos A. A plus B, A minus B उन्होंने सही से अप्लाई नहीं किया, उसकी वजह से भी प्रॉब्लम हुआ था. So to solve the trigonometry questions, I'll just tell you that you need to know how to express secondary ratios into primary ratios. All right, there are various methods that you can use to solve trigonometry sums. First thing that you need to keep in mind is you must never work with both the sides taken together. Proof must be from left hand side to right hand side or the reverse. You have to start from one side, simplify it as much as you can, and then and only then, if further simplification is not possible, should you start with the next side. So all these things should be kept in mind for trigonometry. Next, in what ratio is the line joining P 5, 3 and Q minus 5, 3 divided by the y-axis? And also find the coordinates of the point of intersection. So you have to use the section formula in this. So several candidates did not take the point on y-axis as 0, y. Some candidates could not apply the section formula correctly. Many applied midpoint formula to get the coordinates of the required point. Others found the ratio correctly but did not write it in ratio form. Simple calculation errors were common. Some candidates obtained the coordinates but did not write them within the brackets. So these are few basic mistakes that many students make. So you have to know when to apply section formula. You have to know when to apply midpoint formula. You have to learn the section formula first thoroughly. Then if you have to take a point on y-axis, you must remember it is going to be 0, y. Whereas if a point is on the x-axis, its y coordinate is going to be 0. So you have to take that as x, 0. So you have to practice section and midpoint formula thoroughly. You need to know if points are on x-axis, their ordinates are going to be 0. And if a point is on y-axis, its abscissa, that is its x coordinate, is going to be 0. So you have to emphasize on that as well. Then coming to question number 4, a solid spherical ball. So this question is based on sphere. But since sphere has been reduced from the portion this year, we'll not be discussing this. Next, each of the letters of the word authorizes is written on identical circular discs and put in a bag. They are well shuffled. If a disc is drawn at random from the bag, what is the probability that the letter is a vowel? So basically, they've taken all the alphabets from that word. So authorizes, in that some candidates wrote the number of vowels as 4 instead of 5. Most candidates, so you have to count the vowels correctly. And if a vowel has been repeated, you have to count that vowel twice as well. So in this, you have A, U, O, I, and E. 5 vowels, keep that in mind. Most candidates did not write the answer in the simplest form, which is very basic, something that has been taught to you earlier as well, that you have to write your final answer always in the simplest form. A few candidates used incorrect form for finding probability, total outcomes upon number of favorable. Ulta kar diya unhone. Most candidates did not write the answer in simplest form, as I said. Total outcome of the event was incorrect, or favorable outcomes were incorrect. Basically, there are only two concepts in this: favorable outcomes and total outcomes. And the formula for probability is the ratio of favorable outcomes to the total number of outcomes. So you have to solve as many sums as you can from probability. It is based on just one concept. So you need to first carefully read the question. You need to carefully understand how many total possible outcomes are there. You need to really understand and comprehend well how many favorable outcomes are there, and then accordingly you have to write the formula once and make the calculations, reduce the final answer in the simplest form if it is possible to be reduced further. Next, Mr. Bedi visits the market and buys the following articles. It's a question on GST. Medicines, there's a different rate of GST. For a pair of shoes, there's a different rate of GST. And a laptop bag with a discount at the rate of GST of 18%. You have to calculate the total amount of GST paid. So several candidates missed out the discount of 30% of the laptop bag and directly calculated the tax. Hence, they got incorrect value of GST. You have to keep in mind that if discount is involved, you first have to reduce the discount. You have to find the discounted price and then you have to calculate the tax on the discounted price. Then many candidates calculated the total amount of tax and total bill amount correctly, but the answer was not expressed to two places of decimal. Whenever you're dealing with money, whenever you're dealing with sums on money, you have to always round off your final answer even two decimal places. So it will not be rupees 7.713.5. You have to write this as 713.50. So a few suggestions from our end. Please understand the concept of GST very thoroughly. That GST is always calculated on the discounted price. That is the price calculated after reducing the discount. You have to express the final bill amount in rupees correct to two decimal places. And then you also need to know how to calculate the discounted price. So these are the few tips from our end for this particular question. Moving on to the next one. Question number 5A is from shares and dividend. This chapter has been reduced from the syllabus this year, so we will not be discussing it right now. Moving on to the next one, 5B. The mean of the following data is 16. Calculate the value of F. So in 5B, the question was on calculation of mean of ungrouped frequency table. The direct values were given to you. There was no range of values given. Marks were 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. So some candidates converted it into group frequency distribution, which did not tally with the given data, and hence the sum went wrong. Some candidates wrote incorrect class mark of the given distribution, which led to incorrect value of f of x. Then summation of f had to be 25 plus f because f is being added, but that was written as 25f. Same mistake was done with summation fx. Instead of 415 plus 15f, it was written as 430f. Then many calculation mistakes are also there, that 25 plus f was divided by 16 and hence got the incorrect answer. So many students also wrote the incorrect formula and applied the formula for mean incorrectly. So you have to keep all these things in mind, that you guard against these particular problems. So how to, train yourself? What are a few tips from our end? First of all, you need to not change the data. You first of all don't need to change the data from the given form to some other form. You need to be thorough with group frequency as well as ungroup frequency, and whatever data has been given to you, you need to make the calculations accordingly. You have to first read the question thoroughly, carefully, and analyze the conditions before solving the problem. These are the few points that you need to keep in mind for calculating the mean. Question number 5C is from GP. Again, GP has been reduced from our portion this year, so we'll not be discussing it. Moving on to question number 6. Question 6A. In that, it is again a question on matrices. A and B were given. You had to calculate A square minus 2AB plus B square. So again, as we just discussed for matrices earlier as well, Matrix multiplication was a very common area of error. For finding square of A and square of B, candidates found square of each corresponding element instead of A into A or B into B. And many candidates calculated the product of A into B by multiplying individual elements. So basically what we need to stress upon is you have to know how to multiply two matrices properly. So आपको बहुत thoroughly practice करना है. You have to show each and every step of product of matrices, and please practice a few sums on squares of matrices so that you don't end up squaring all the elements individually when you have been asked to calculate the square of a particular matrix. Next question. In the given figure, there's a figure given, some values are given to you, some data is given. Prove that PAB is similar to PCD. So many candidates assume that AB is parallel to CD, hence they could not identify the correct pairs of angles. So unless it has been specified, you cannot take two lines to be parallel. You never solve sums using assumptions. You have to solve sums using the data that has been given to you in that particular question. Some candidates calculated the length of CD correctly. A few could not write the corresponding ratio of sides of similar triangles and hence made mistakes in finding the length of CD. So you need to know which pairs of angles are equal and the opposite sides of those equal angles who are going to be the corresponding sides for each other. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Many candidates did not get the ratio of area of PABs to area of PCD correctly. Some candidates wrote the final answer in the fractional form 9 upon 4 instead of writing it as 9:4. So please dhyan se rakhna, you cannot keep the answer in fraction form. Always convert it in ratio form. A few tips from our end. Sufficient practice on similarity and getting the proportionality of corresponding sides. So practice as many questions as you can. Give practice on properties of circles, which we just had already discussed earlier as well. You need to express your answers in the simplest forms. You practice sums based on proving similarity of triangles. And you also need to practice sums which involve the ratio of areas of similar triangles, which is equal to the squares of ratio of corresponding sides. So all these were the common mistakes that many students made. So you have to guard against them using these particular tips. Next question is from heights and distances. From the top of a cliff, the angle of depression of the top and bottom of a tower are observed to be 45 and 60 degrees respectively. Height is given, you have to calculate the height of the cliff. So a few common errors in this. Some candidates did not draw a diagram for this question and drew an incorrect diagram. Some used value of tan 60 as 1.732 instead of root 3 and made mistakes in dividing 20 by 0.732. Candidates made calculation errors and did not arrive at the final answers as 47.32 and 27.32. So these are the very basic mistakes that you can make in heights and distances. First thing, you need to practice making the diagram properly. So वो आपको एकदम ध्यान से करना है, वो आपको आना ही चाहिए. And once you've made the diagram properly, you just have to ensure that you're not making any calculation mistakes and you are substituting the correct values for standard angles, tan 60, tan 30, cos 45, whatever it is. You need to know all the values and you need to substitute them correctly. You have to familiarize yourself with the angle of elevation, angle of depression. If the object is above the line of sight, it is angle of elevation. If the object is below the line of sight, it is angle of depression. You need to know if the denominator is irrational, you have to rationalize it. And you also have to ensure that you're not making any calculation mistakes and you're writing your final answer in the statement form. These are the few things you need to keep in mind for heights and distances. Next. Question 7a. Find the value of P if lines, these two are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular and parallel lines concept has been removed from the portion this year. So we'll not be discussing this particular question. We'll move on to the next one directly. Using properties of proportion, find x is to y. Given x square plus 2x upon 2x plus 4 is equal to y square plus 3y upon 3y plus 9. So some common errors that students made in this were not reading the instructions given in the question properly, not using componendo and dividendo to work out the sum, cross multiplying to solve the sum, making errors in signs while applying componendo and dividendo, writing x square minus 4 as x minus 2 the whole square. There's a big difference. A square minus b square and a minus b the whole square are two different things. And writing the ratio as 2 upon 3 instead of 2 is to 3. Don't write the answer in fraction form. You have to write your final answer in ratio form only. And it was clearly given that you have to apply properties of proportion. So you cannot directly cross multiply and solve the sums. You have to use componendo and dividendo only to solve these sums. All right. Then a few advices to the students from our end is you need to thorough yourself with all the properties of proportion, the 5 properties which are invertendo, componendo, dividendo, alternando, and componendo dividendo. So you need to know all the 5 properties. You need to know when to apply which property, read the question carefully, and then accordingly decide which property is to be applied and apply that correctly. Next, in the given figure, TP and TQ are two tangents. It's a sum on circle. In this question, properties of circles like angle at the center is double the angle at the circumference, radius tangent perpendicular relation, angle sum property of quadrilateral, and tangent secant relation, etc. were not applied correctly. So you need to know all the theorems and properties of circles which we had already discussed, and you need to apply them properly as and when it is required. Then a large number of candidates could not find the value of angle AOC. Some candidates incorrectly calculated the value of angle OBA. A few candidates solved the question without giving proper reasoning in some scripts. Simple calculation errors were also observed. So a few tips to the students from our end. First of all, read the question carefully and to answer as per the specification given in the question. Exhaustive practice of properties of circle theorems and application based sums is a must. You need to also know to name the angles with 3 letters, specifically where there are 2 or more angles at the same point. And then you need to thorough yourself with all the theorems of circles, with all the different properties that we have, and then revise them frequently and know where to apply which property. Next, moving on to question number 8. What must be added to the polynomial 2x cubed minus 3x square minus 8x so that it leaves the remainder 10 when divided by 2x plus 1. So in this question, a very common error by candidates was the incorrect substitution of the value of x, because it is x minus the factor has been given to you as 2x plus 1. So when you take that to be equal to 0, the value of x should be minus half. Some took it as positive half. Another common conceptual error was the cube of minus 1 by 2 was written as positive 1 by 8 instead of negative 1 by 8. And the square of 1 by 2 was written as negative 1 by 4 instead of positive 1 by 4. So we'll just quickly tell you that if you are cubing a negative number, the final answer would be negative. If you are squaring a negative number, then the final answer will be positive always. So you need to keep these things in mind. Some candidates substituted correctly but were unable to come to the correct answer. That may be because of calculation mistakes. So a few suggestions from our end. You have to practice enough problems in involving algebraic expressions, then you need to know that if you have to add something or subtract something, you take that as k or a, and you need to solve sufficient problems involving such cases. And you need to also know when you open the bracket, if there's a minus sign outside, the signs inside the bracket will change. If you're cubing a negative number, answer will be negative. If you're making the square of a negative number, the answer will be positive. All these things you need to keep in mind. Next question is from banking. You've been given the principal, the time, and the maturity value. You need to find the rate of interest. So some calculation errors were found, such as the product of 750 and 24 being expressed as 1800 instead of 18,000. Zero ka issue ho gaya. Some candidates took n in years. You took n as 2 years instead of 24 months. Mistakes were made in applying the formula for interest. Excuse me. Candidates found it difficult to express interest in terms of R. Hence, many candidates were unable to find rate of interest, that is R. So, first of all, you need to know the entire concept. There is only one formula in this chapter, that is P into N plus 1 upon 2 into 12 into R upon 100, which is the formula for interest. You add that to the amount deposited and you get your maturity value. So using this very formula, you can calculate maturity value, principal, number of years, and rate of interest, as well as the interest. So you need to practice ample amount of sums for each and every type, whether it is to be calculate principal, rate of interest, or maturity value, or the time period. You need to practice ample amount of sums of every type so that you do all the sums correctly in your examination. And you need to guard against simple calculation mistakes in this chapter, because many a times students do make a lot of calculation mistakes in this. So uska dhyan rakhna. Next question is from reflection. You have to plot 5 points and reflect them in the x-axis. So most candidates dealt well with this question. Common errors were observed in taking the scale. Again, you have to take the scale properly. 1 centimeter, 2 units, or 2 centimeter, 1 unit, 2 centimeter, 2 units. Whatever scale you've taken, please specify that clearly at the top of the graph. A few candidates plotted the points incorrectly. Mistakes were made in plotting the points 0,4 and -4,0. Some candidates made mistakes in marking the x-axis and y-axis. Positive and negative points of the two axes were marked incorrectly. Some candidates marked the points B dash, C dash, D dash, and E dash incorrectly, or did not join the points in order. And a few candidates did not name the figure or named it as octagon or trapezium. So dhyan dena hai, you need to know how to identify the geometrical name of that figure correctly, count the number of sides, and after counting the number of sides, search for those particular properties that you can associate with particularly one geometrical figure. So you need to practice plotting numerous points on the graph paper and the reflection on the x-axis, y-axis, and origin. Give adequate practice to identify points on the x and y-axis. You need to know to complete the figure form and revise the basic names and concepts of geometrical figures so that you are able to identify them correctly. These are the things that you need to keep in mind for reflection. Then moving on to the next question, question number 9. 40 students entered a game for shot put competition and their data has been given below. You have to use make an ogive and to find the median, upper quartile, and number of students who cover a distance which is above 16.5. So in ogive, there were a few common errors that were observed. Some candidates made mistakes in finding the cumulative frequency. In many cases, the last cumulative frequency did not tally with the total of the given distribution, which was given as 40. A number of candidates did not follow the scale given in the question. Some plotted the ogive with respect to the lower boundaries instead of upper boundaries. A few candidates used a ruler to draw the graph instead of a freehand curve. पहले ही बोला आपको, ठीक है? Kink was not shown on the graph sheet between 0 and 12 to keep uniform gaps between each interval by some candidates. 0 से start नहीं होता अगर आपका data, so you always have to check for the kink mark before doing anything else. And the values of median upper quartiles were read incorrectly from the graph by a number of candidates. So these were the common errors and a few tips from our end. First of all, always cross check the cumulative frequency found with the last value in the frequency table. Then you have to advise students to be cautious in selecting correct axis and scale. ध्यान से आपको select करना है scale. If the scale has not been specified to you, आपको खुद से scale decide करना है, and you have to ensure that your scale is as large as possible so that it can occupy the maximum space in the graph paper. Then ask students to draw a ogive, a cumulative frequency curve as a freehand curve. These points must not be joined with a ruler. Practice needs to be given for drawing of the ogive. And you need to know that an ogive is always plotted with respect to upper boundaries and cumulative frequencies and not the lower boundaries and cumulative frequencies. So iska dhyan rakhna. Then if x is equal to this, prove that x square minus 4ax plus 1 is equal to 0. So in this question, many candidates made errors while applying componendo and dividendo, especially in the denominator. It always is numerator plus denominator upon numerator minus denominator. Mistakes were made while squaring both the sides. Calculation errors were also common. The final expression was not worked out following all the steps of correct working. Being a proof, some candidates wrote the correct answer from incorrect working. So LHS is equal to RHS तो लिख दिया, that was the correct answer, but आपका पूरा working गलत था, तो you obviously lost marks in that. So you need to sufficiently practice problems based on properties of ratio and proportion, especially componendo and dividendo, and squaring, expansion and transformation of algebraic expression. And you also need to know the importance of brackets and how to open them. अगर bracket के बाहर plus है, signs remain same. Bracket के बाहर minus है, change all the signs inside the bracket. All right, when you open them. So these are the few things that you need to keep in mind. Next, it's a question of arithmetic progression. The sixth term has been given to you, and one more relation has been given. You need to find the first term and the common difference. So a few mistakes that the students made in this was, some candidates used incorrect formula for finding the sixth term of an arithmetic progression and summation of six terms of an AP. So T6 and S6 find करने के लिए, many of the candidates, they use the incorrect formula. So you have to keep that in mind. Correct formula is for Tn, it is a plus n minus 1d, and for Sn, it is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. सब ध्यान से आपको apply करना है. As per the given condition in the question, sixth term of an AP is equal to 4 times its first term, was written as a plus 5d is equal to 4a plus d instead of a plus 5d is equal to 4a. Some candidates wrote the equations correctly but made mistakes in solving the equations. A plus 5d is equal to 4a लिख दिया, bracket opening में mistake हो गई. So these things you need to guard against. आपको ये सारी चीजों का ध्यान रखना है. All right. Next. The difference of two natural numbers is 7 and their product is 450. Find the numbers. So a few common mistakes that were made in this was, some candidates made mistake in taking the two natural numbers according to given condition as x and 7 minus x instead of x and x minus 7. ये आप लोग से mistake होगी. 7 minus x की जगह आपने x minus 7 and x plus 7 की mistake कर दी. Few candidates made mistakes in forming the quadratic equation. Some candidates, after solving, found the two values as x as minus 25 and 18. According to the question, the two numbers are natural numbers. Hence, neglecting the negative number, the two answers should have been 25 and 18 instead of minus 18. So you have to keep all these things in mind. Practice sufficient number of sums from this chapter so that you don't end up making these mistakes when you are solving questions from this particular chapter. Next question, it is, once again. Yeah, the next question is from locus, but locus and construction has been omitted from our portion this year. So we will not be doing that. Go to the next one directly. Question number 11. Question 11A again is from maps and models, which has been removed from the portion this year. So we'll not be doing this question as well. We'll go to question 11B. So from a solid wooden cylinder of height 28 centimeter and diameter 6 centimeter, two conical cavities are hollowed out. The diameters are given. You have to calculate the volume of the remaining solid. So some candidates use incorrect formulae for volume and cone, for volume of cone and cylinder. The diameter of the cone and cylinder was given in the sum as 6, but some took the radius as 6. The volume of cone was not multiplied by 2. Simple calculation errors were very common. The value of pi was given as 22 by 7, but some took it as 3.14. So you have to keep all these things in mind. So what we suggest you to do for questions from this chapter is you need to know all the formulas for volume of cylinder and cone, volume, surface area, total surface area, curved surface area, सब कुछ आपको calculate करने आना चाहिए. You need to know sums based on combination of solids. तो आपको उनका वॉल्यूम एंड सरफेस एरिया कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है ये सब भी पता होना चाहिए एंड आपको वो सब प्रैक्टिस भी उसके एम्पल अमाउंट ऑफ सम्स करने पड़ेंगे. देन प्रूव द आइडेंटिटी 1 minus tan theta upon 1 minus cot theta the whole square is equal to tan square theta. ये प्रूव करना है. अगेन the whole square was taken as 1 minus tan square theta and 1 minus cot square theta. Some candidates fail to express tan A and cot A in terms of sin and cos, which we have just discussed as well. If it is secondary ratio, you have to convert it into primary ratio. Others made errors in writing the numerator and denominator of resulting trigonometric expressions correctly. A few candidates were unable to identify cos theta minus sin theta as minus of sin theta minus cos theta and hence could not obtain the correct answer. So a few tips from our end: give ample practice on basic algebraic operations and identities to enable yourself to solve simplify trigonometric identities. And you have to keep this in mind that you have to start with one side at a time instead of working with both the sides together. So this was last year's paper of March 2020, which we have just analyzed, which we've gone through the common mistakes which the students make and a few tips for you to guard against those mistakes and ensure that you don't lose out on marks. We are also now going to discuss the paper presentation of a sample paper, which will give you an idea of how you are expected to present your paper properly. So I'll just be sharing that.